It isn't just technology that's dangerous if left in the wrong hands. It's really technology that becomes dangerous, not in and of itself, but the human heart that actually makes these things dangerous. A major part of the reason we are nationally, perhaps even globally, experiencing a sort of anxiety about who and what we are as humans is what some are calling the coming reality collapse. In fact, some might say that it's already here. Tristan Harris and Aza Ruskin, who have spoken a lot about emerging technologies, have talked about something like this reality collapse, where things are very hard to determine whether or not they're true or real, even with our own eyes. Think about the way filters are used in social media, for example. And this has been around for quite some time. We use artificial intelligence to doctor up photos or even videos of ourselves so that we can post them online, and people don't have any real idea if that's the way we actually look or even the way we actually sound. In fact, it's gone a ratchet level up with the rise of deep fakes. A deep fake is basically a video where someone has sampled previous video or film footage of somebody and their voices as well, and then creates almost out of whole cloth a video of a person doing and saying things they never did or actually said, but it's cobbled together from previous footage. We've seen this in some of the biggest movies in the past 10 years actually happen, but we're also seeing it not just for entertainment purposes, we're seeing it for nefarious purposes as well. There was, and actually is, a significant social media personality. She's a young lady who has a very large following on social media, and because someone decided to use her and even abuse her without her knowledge or even her awareness of it, took video footage and voice footage of her and then digitized that and used AI to basically take that information and place it onto a porn actress's body and created a fake, but very deeply fake, pornographic video of her, without her knowledge and certainly without her consent. Essentially, they trafficked her without ever meeting her. She never had to leave the room for her to be trafficked. This goes to show us that it isn't just technology that's dangerous if left in the wrong hands. It's really technology that becomes dangerous, not in and of itself, but the human heart that actually makes these things dangerous. But you see, that reality collapse is merely a symptom of a fundamental schizophrenia human beings are actually experiencing. You see, if we can make machines or computer programs that act like us, even creatively, does that mean that we're just mere machines too? We've been told this for some time. People like Lawrence Krauss, for example, have said that human beings are, cosmically speaking, just a bit of pollution. Richard Dawkins famously said that we are machines for propagating DNA. It is every living object's sole reason for living. So we're just biochemical machines that respond to external stimuli and then reproduce ourselves without any real volition or any real purpose behind this whole thing. We're just machines. And with the advent of AI, that gives some level of credibility to it. But there's also this other polar opposite idea, the idea that we are actually godlike beings, that we can determine and craft reality according to our desires. Yuval Harari, in his book Sapiens, and then, of course, in his follow-up book Homo Deus, which are just rampant bestsellers, he points out that we're on the verge of creation almost in a godlike state. But then he points out something really important. He says that we are dissatisfied gods and we are irresponsible gods, leading him to the question, is there anything more dangerous than dissatisfied and irresponsible gods who don't know what they want? And so we find ourselves trapped between these two extremes. We're just mere machines, or we're the gods of the universe. And how have we resolved the tension? By creating AI. We have attempted to resolve the tension between these two seemingly irreconcilable poles by creating a machine that is godlike, and then we go ahead and obey it. That's interesting all by itself. Now, as an atheist, Harari worries that we'll use artificial intelligence to create sacred texts. As an atheist, he believes that all sacred texts are just man-made. Now, of course, I don't agree. I think the Bible is an exception. But what he's worried about is that we'll use AI to create the first non-human-made sacred texts, and then, because we think AI is all-knowing, obey its commands, possibly even the violent ones. But here's something terribly ironic. The Bible predicted this kind of thing millennia ago. In Romans chapter 1, the Bible says that because of our desire to aggrandize ourselves above God, we will worship the creature, that which is created, over the creator of the entire universe. We create idols of our own making and then worship those things as if they made us. That's fascinating, friends, because a brilliant man like Harari denies the existence of the transcendent. He denies the transcendent source of the Bible. Yet that Bible is a book that warned us 2 millennia ago about the things Harari is only starting to get worried about now. There is a transcendence to this book. In the next part, we'll explore just how the transcendent wisdom of the Bible can guide us through the new digital Garden of Eden we find ourselves in.